see. Catch starring Fievel and Schmaltz.
So, two Jews with glasses.
Yeah. Hi,
Who knew?
It's Friday night, March something, I don't know, 2019 at the Racket Club. It's Friday night meal on the Shabbos /
That's what this is.
yeah. And,
Good Shabbos.
Yeah, the person who runs this Racket Club, Misha.
Misha.
Yeah, so she sees that I have character, and she sees you have character, so...
I have character.
Yes, you have character.
Oh, I didn't know why anyone's picking me to talk.
Anyway, the annoying part of life is that when you have character, people ask you to perform all the time.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I don't know, maybe, what, I don't know, whatever, I decided, okay, fine, I'll get in front of the screen and talk.
Do you have a problem getting in front of a screen and talking like that?
No, usually when I get on the screen, I'm not natural.
You're not natural.
No.
I think it's part of the universe itself that things, people, the universe, it's not natural when it's being observed. There's this quantum physics experiment, where they measure the photons moving and they can see where it moved because it makes an imprint. But when they watch it, it goes a different path. Whether it's a wave or a particle, and it's going this way and that way through a slit. It's the double slit experiment. It acts differently when observed.
Okay, you're making a good point, except that if I agree with you, that means I give you the power. And therefore I want to be like, because since I sense certain vulnerability in you, therefore I'm going to be like, but the teachers I totally agree with what you're saying. So, alright, so I'm going to be like, okay, whatever, but I hear you. And actually it's a very good point what you're saying. What you're saying is very effective in day-to-day life. But that doesn't lead to good conversation, agreeing with each other. So,
We're supposed to disagree.
yeah, well, I don't know. But what you're saying essentially is...
So I come here with my enemies.
No, the thing's like this. What you're saying is that in life, when you have a hard time growing up, and then later on in life you attain certain peace and whatever tranquility and fun.
Well, hold on. You've attained peace?
Yeah. So based on...
Ooh, look at you.
Well, no. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how did you attain peace? I can't attain peace.
Well, you should stop smoking so much and not
You don't like this? No, this is not marijuana, by the way. This is a jewel. This is it's jewel pods. It helps you stop smoking.
No, it's not that.
I'm not selling jewel, by the way. I don't sell anything. I can't even rub two nickels together.
So File's number is 917. What's it called? I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, we were talking about pot. You were mentioning about
Oh, no, I was just dissing you.
marijuana.
I was being judgmental about you smoking pot. You said inner peace. No, I've reached a lot. I've reached past my upbringing. Yeah. So much so that there's a couple of levels in it. But one of the levels are that you attain a place that's having fun and freedom and connection and all that stuff that you had when you were younger. So that undoes retroactively what like what the atom does. It makes it
Well, I think many people who grow up in families that are not totally undisciplined.
Listening face.
That's the listening face. I got the talking face, which is just me in general. That's the face. So anyone, it doesn't matter if you're Orthodox, you're not Orthodox. I grew up not Orthodox until I was 18.
The fuck is Orthodox?
Orthodox. Okay, you grow up that way. I know you grew up Orthodox and like.
Difficult upbringings. Who cares? Orthodox, not Orthodox. Jewish, not Jewish.
Yeah, I think that it's just part of life. It's not a difficult upbringing that you have to escape out of the fact that I had a little difficult. My parents wouldn't let me go out and party.
That's not Chinik. You sound like a comment and feel okay. All right, next subject.
All right. Inner peace. You were able to achieve it.
You mentioned something about the atom, so I said it had to do with your upbringing. You made it personal about me. I said, yeah, I reached inner peace. No, I don't know what the hell inner peace even is. You're saying the concept of it, so I'm like, okay.
Okay. Because I don't know what it means to have achieved an inner peace.
I did. Go talk to your intellectual friends about that. exactly what this and that means. Bottom line is, you mentioned a very interesting study, and it's a very good thing. It's very
Okay, so that's the bottom line.
so another thing you're studying with is what people do is not what their actions are; it's what the energy behind it is. Go ahead, run away with that.
The things that people do. Say it again.
So, for example, let's say someone, your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or mother or anybody, they make your bed in the morning, right? That sounds like a very nice thing.
Can't imagine such a thing, but okay.
Right.
And continue.
But what if they're doing it just to control you? So is it a good or bad thing? Is it bad? Someone's playing music loud in the next room.
Yeah.
But they're doing it because they're trying to bring joy, happiness. It doesn't let you sleep. They're trying to bring joy and happiness to your life and to the life of your apartment, to the people you live in, and to the whole community. All of a sudden, you can't sleep. So you can't sleep, but that's a positive energy.
It's like enforced joy.
Well,
They're trying to enforce joy upon you,
So the
and it's control.
no, no. You can't sleep, but it's a positive thing because they're trying to bring joy. You like their energy. You're okay with not being able to sleep. Even though they're doing it.
Oh, you're okay with this?
Music.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone making your bed in the morning, or someone doing you a favor. Making
Yeah.
your bed was a stupid example. Someone doing you a favor, they're doing it out of control. So here they're doing something nice for you, but it's having the opposite effect. So much has to do with the energy of the person.
So much has to do with the energy of the person.
Yeah, so much so that in the atom, retroactively, once it's observed, retroactively you can see it a specific way and not the other way. The same idea with the energy of what the person does, it has the effect on what it is. So in other words, even if it's a good thing, even supposedly if the person's giving you money, now you have more money, or now you're being done a favor, but it's not a positive thing. So lav dafka is good.
I hear that.
Verstehst?
I think that there's two different types of relationships. There's the relationship of control, and there's the relationship of contract. You have a contract with somebody. A relationship is just a social contract. You have. She makes my bed, and I pay for her Prada shoes. You know, like it's right. She makes the bed, I pay Prada. Yeah, that's
It's a
the
good company.
right. Like that's the contract, or it could be
I see saying everything's contractual.
control.
So either contractual or control.
Right? Yeah, I think so. Because some relationships, you know, they see a vulnerability in a person and they adjust said contract
Interesting.
accordingly.
1 second. So
Like a parent to a child in
So
a
you're saying-
controlling home.
are you implying that all relationships are based on vulnerability?
Well, no. Some relationships are based on taking advantage of vulnerability, and other relationships, good relationships, healthy relationships, if there is such a thing, I don't know from firsthand. You know, I know from people that I have met in the past who told me, and they were really old. Like, one time I met this girl, I was like 22, right? So, because like that's how rare it is. That even with said vulnerability, no change will be affected on the relationship.
Well, I don't know. I think. Listen, the thing with relationships are, it's what's the incentive? That's the thing. What's the incentive?
Well, you never even had a
Me
That's why I
neither.
know so much about them.
And I've been married. I still haven't had a relationship.
Let's see. We have one with a divorced guy talks to someone who's never been in a long-term relationship. Guy.
At least he got the short terms.
Amen. Okay. What's the show? What do you call it?
Tinder. Tinder. Like we're selling Tinder now. We're doing an ad for Tinder.
He does an ad for Coca-Cola for free.
Right.
Oh God, my raspiness in my voice is coming back. What was everyone else saying about relationships?
Well, you know, relationships that are built on
No, I was going to say an interesting, very unique concept. But,
a unique. Oh, I want a
interesting
unique
outlook.
outlook.
I would say it's very interesting about relationships. I forgot something about vulnerability.
Well, I mean, you know, if they're taking advantage of the vulnerability, or if they're not, if the type of person.
Oh, the incentive. So relationships, the question is with incentive. People go after incentive. I don't know what the incentive today is for relationships because it looks like the whole thing is just falling apart. The whole concept is falling apart.
Well, what do you think historically made the concept of relationships
Set
fall
needs.
apart?
Set needs. No. Until now it worked out because we set needs. Now people don't know each other as much. So if you don't need each other, why would you deal with the headache of it? In other words, relationships are so difficult to find, so difficult to get into, so difficult to maintain. Why would you do it? Because, well, the outcome is a good thing, right? That's why a man would get married.
Right.
It's a respectable thing. It's, you know,
Right.
it's
And the society is geared in such a way that they will give you things that you wouldn't otherwise have when you're married.
I guess, yeah.
You get a level of respect.
True.
You get. Now I think maybe it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
married? Oh. You know?
Right.
These less incentive to be in a relationship to get married. Society doesn't look at least at a married man in a respectful way. Married women, different. But then, single mother is more. I don't know, let's not talk about this disaster of a subject.
Well, if you take a tiger, not to be off the subject, this is on the subject. If you take a tiger, which is an antisocial animal, they hunt alone, and you breed it with a lion, which is a social animal that hunts with a pack, the pride, you'll get a very confused animal. And I kid you not, by the way, animal psychologists are a real thing. Yeah, it's a real thing. Animal psychology is a real thing. And they take these ligers, these half tiger, half lion things, freakish looking animals. And animals that really shouldn't exist because, like one's from over here and one's from over there. I don't know. We all want cake. Let them eat their cake. So you take these animals and they're very confused animals. They need animal psychologists. They're depressed animals. They have a natural inclination for both.
Very interesting. Okay, good.
Humans.
Yeah. Yeah, right now.
I'm always checking myself out. I do constant glances.
I'm doing the listening.
Okay, you do the listening phase. So you take the human. The human is a social animal.
No, tick-tock. Okay.
Okay, and we have. Hold on, we have
Human
we
social
have
lion,
societies. We have societies that are built upon. All right, I'm boring you. All right.
No. Societies that are built on what?
On the complexity
The
of
complexity-
human relationships.
Fine, next.
They work in.
That's not even a smart thing to say. Society with the complexity of relationships. Whoa, wow.
It's
Never heard that before.
Okay, all right.
Brilliant.
I'm going.
The way you said it with different words, slowly, and you slow down in the middle, it made it sound like you're
All right,
intellectual.
okay, all right. I make it
Let me
sound
tell you
like-
something.
Say it.
I realized actually, you studied about this for many years, and societal sort of personification in the way it relates to one another with regards to preparation of food as sort of a basic need. And that's how various recipes actually equate and come out. And that's how you make eggs.
Okay, that's how you make eggs.
Yeah, no, I used a lot of words.
All right, it's very good. I like it.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting. Artistry.
This is the history of various stages of this. And sometimes corporations come in with their own energy and sort of put it on the box.
Okay.
No,
all
I'm
right.
kidding. You're a smart guy.
I'm going to the idea that. Oh yeah, we
Okay, let's just
are
start stuttering like
like two Jews
people that
in a rush.
No. You're actually making a good point because sorry, I'm not feeling well. Go ahead.
It's all right. It's all good. Is there something you want to talk about
Well,
specific?
my head now looks like someone that needs a mole. Sorry.
Your head needs a circumcision. I'm a rabbi.
Sorry, what were you saying? I don't know. I want to end off like this, and then you end off.
Oh, okay, sure.
We have to be grateful for every moment we're alive. Just being alive is good enough. Doesn't matter where we are, where we're holding a life, what we think we have, what we think we need, what we think we're going to get. With it all that, even if we have it already, we should be grateful. So if we don't have it, we should be grateful. Be grateful either way. And every moment of life is precious. And that's tonight's meal. It's really, really nice.
That's true. Someday you will be an old person in an old age home, and you will look back on today and you will say, Those are the best days of my life.
What the hell are you talking about? Those will be the best days of my life. I'll be grateful for them for now also. Why'd I have to wait till I'm 90 to say now is best? Now is the best, and when I'm 90 is the best.
I'm not sure that that's true.
That is true.
We'll be old in an old age home.
Yeah, so
You're not going anywhere.
Old people enjoy themselves a lot better than
That's a
young people.
last stop.
Old people enjoy themselves a lot more than young people.
I think we're talking about specifically in an old age home. We're talking about the end of the old people, like the last part of it.
When we turn 90, the age range is
All right.